Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to do a little double dipping in this video. I'm going to answer a question I get asked a lot about the fire element, and I'm going to talk about the up-and-coming ice meta that is really already here, but as we're returning to regular Guild Wars, as people are starting to settle back into a regular rotation of this game, you're going to start to see a ton of ice in this game. You're going to see the tanks that are, Snow, Agrius, Velis, top tier support in the game. Eliza, already a wonderful ice missile unit. Elia just got here today. You combine those two, it's insane. Ice is here to stay for a while. But can you build fire to beat it? Because fire is often talked trash on, right? It's often talked trash on. Can you build a fire team to beat it? We're going to talk about the fire element a lot in this video, so if you want to see what I have to say about them, stay tuned. We're going to do this through the lens of team building. I want to start by talking about these two units right here. What is something that fire does have? Fire has tanks. You have King Mont, who is a great tank in this game, and especially if you're fighting against ice, he's going to bring a base 30% ice resist and, importantly, missile resist 15 with some slash resist to back that up. This is great. This will be wonderful against those top tier meta ice units. Okay, so let's build around King Mont. Let's make him our tank. Let's set him up for success. That seems kind of obvious though. The less obvious choice is RHALDOR. This is a guy who, if you've looked at some JP tier lists, PvP tier lists, in the last few months, you see him up on those tiers and you're like, wait, it's RHALDOR, guys. Is RHALDOR actually good? Yes, he is. Let me show you something about our boy RHALDOR right here. If we just go look at his stats, walking into a fight just by himself, he is at 20% ice resist and 50% missile resist. We're talking about building a teams to fight an element that their better damage dealers are missile right now. You can expect to fight some missile units. I think RHALDOR is a guy you can build to just go take them out. So he's going to be the second unit I build around. That brings up the question, what's the third unit? Okay, we're now into the first weakness of fire as an element in this game. Ideally, I would want to plug in a top tier support unit right here, like Fire's version of Velis or Fire's version of Resnick, something like that, where I could get that element synergy going on and have somebody who could top off my Mont and RHALDOR after Guild Wars Fight 2, go get 3 more stars in Guild Wars Fight 3 or 2, or you know what I mean. I think I said the wrong things, but you get it. We need a support right here. Unfortunately for Fire, Minwoo, not exactly that top tier support. Is she terrible? No, but if we go look at her stat line right here, I mean, negatives across the board against physicals, that's not going to do it for me. I just don't think she's the one. So what I'm going to do instead, I still want a unit that can carry some magic type vision cards. I'm going to go to Classy Glassy. You could go for Terra right here. You could go off element support right here. But I'm going to use Glassy for this one because she's also bringing that 15% missile resist. I can build around that. Little bit of slash resist and ice resist. Let's build with her for this video. That's what I'm going to go for. So there's my 3. There's my 3 units. Again, the key here being King Mont and RHALDOR. Now, I'm going to talk about the second weakness that you have to overcome when building for fire, and that's vision cards. Fire just does not have the firepower, LOL, in vision cards that the other elements do. You do have some good ones, so let's build around those. I want to start with, if we're fighting ice, I think it's just a given that if you're fighting ice, you'll want to work Ifrit in there. This card is going to give you that attack buff that's going to help RHALDOR and Mont do damage. It's also going to give you 20 ice resist up for your whole group. It'll also give RHALDOR 10 more fire attack. That's great. Let's plug that in. You also have a new card in this game, Dark Tetrasylphid. This will give you Man-Eater on physical, missile resist. We're building around missile resist. That's a big deal. And unit attack resist, which is nice. It'll give Mont a little bit more stats here as well. So, a lot more stats, actually. Let's plug that in on our tank. We're set. Now, for Terra, I really like the Encounter of Heroes. I call it the Fire Bros vision card. It's sitting in here somewhere. Here it is. You're going to get magic up 50. That's going to help her. You get a little bit of accuracy. Not super concerned about accuracy when we're fighting against ice, but it's still a nice thing to have. And slash attack resist. If you're fighting ag races out there, or ice will often mix in slash units, I think this card is going to be really good for this. You also getting 3 agility, which fire, another weakness of them, they don't have a lot of agility. They're a slower element. They don't have a great agility vision card to work in. So here's my first 3 vision cards. We've addressed some of the issues. Now let's plug in the rest. I like an MR card on this team actually. I'm going to go for Lamia Queen. Let me scroll all the way down here. Hopefully, yeah, pray for the game not to crash. Then you come down here to the MR cards. Where's Lamia Queen? There she is. This is going to give me fire attack up for the group. That will help all 3 units. It will also give strike attack resist up, which will be good against snow, and Ice Eater for RHALDOR. This RHALDOR is going for a one-hit kill build. I want him walking out there and knocking ice units on their face. For Glassy's subcard, I'm going to go with Omen. That is the Final Fantasy collaboration card right here. It's Terra's card. What this will give me is a little more damage for her and a little more missile attack. There is a rainbow missile attack resist card option. Here, I'll show you guys what it looks like real quick. If you're missing one of these other missile attack resist cards that I'm using, you can come in here. It looks like, yeah, of course, this is going to be the part of the video that takes 79 years. Here it is, Mask of Deceit. This is a missile attack resist card that comes with the side bonus of giving King Mont a little extra hate. So this is a good option if you want to run this. If you're missing out on some of those other cards, you can look here. I just think it's not as perfect for my team as I want. Now, we need to overcome the slowness of this squad. This squad is a little slow, so I'm actually going to go to the Final Fantasy Tactics card that a lot of us just built right here. It is a rainbow card. It is Ramza's card. It's hanging out in here. There it is. Agility up 8%. It'll also give Mont a little bit of slash attack up, so we'll throw that on there. And now we're sitting pretty good. Just with vision card buffs on right now, RHALDOR is sitting at a 70% missile resist. With a buff, like with a TMR or with King Mont's missile resist buff, you're now pushing him up towards that 90 to 95% resist. Yes, there's penetration out there. Yes, they're probably building it and they're going to penetrate some of it, but you're still going to tank it pretty well, especially considering you're also going to have defense and you have a nice 40% ice resist as well. So I think you're setting yourself up for success right here. Okay. Espers. Let's get some Espers equipped. For RHALDOR, again, I'm going pure 100. I want a 100 to 0 people in one attack. So I'm going to build Esper Resonance up with Brachiosaur for him in this build. So I would come in here. I would go in. I would build up for RHALDOR. This would be my most highly recommended version of this. I would go Fire Attack up, Ice Eater up. I would get off the Missile Attack up and instead pick up a little bit of Magic Resist just to cover him in that area. But for now, I'll give you another good option. I think Odin, also a strong option here, especially if you find yourself on a map where you need to, maybe RHALDOR's going alone, so he's not going to be getting group buffs. You could also look for regular Odin here. Regular Odin has more agility, which helps with the speed, and has Maneater and missile and slash resist on it. You could lean into those things. That would be a good option for RHALDOR as well. So for now, I'll go Brachiosaur. I'll have to get him resonance on that. No big deal. I'll use some keys. Not worried. For Glassy, I want to find missile resist, I want to find some speed, and I want to find damage. I think I'm going to put resonance for her with Valifor. This is Yuna's chicken, the space chicken right here. The thing I like about Valifor for your fire mages in this setup is, once again, you're getting a little more missile resist. Right here, you could pick that up. You also have magic attack. You can get magic up, which is nice. And then for Glassy, you want this activation down. Let me go ahead. I'll build this one out because this is a little bit more of a confusing one. Definitely get all the missile resist that's here. Get your magic up, that'll help for your damage. Get your magic attack up, that'll help for your damage. Then go ahead, go all the way through this tree, get activation time down. That's a big thing for units like Yuna. Then you just have 47 points. I'll throw them into Dark Eater just in case I happen to not be able to find an ice team. or something like that. And then there's the Space Chicken. Alternatively, Carbuncle, a nice Esper with some missile resist on it. You could go that route as well. Then for King Mont, I think the obvious choice is Death Machine if you have it. So I will go down here. Again, I'll have to resonance it up. Not a big deal. Go in here. This one has, boom, boom, boom. We'll look at it. We're going to guess what it has. Guess what it has. If you're guessing missile resist, you're exactly right. A lot of missile resist right here. Also defense, just to be generically a little bit tankier. Then you could go this critical evasion route. That's not bad. I will probably reset this and go into the Ice Eater route. Just set my Mont up for a little bit more damage. This could also be an option for your RHALDOR if you want him to be a little bit tankier as well. So go down that route there. And then I'll get my, that's it. That's it. That's all you need. Boom, you're done. And that's the setup. So that's the Esper Vision cards and unit setup. Now, here's what I want to mention. You need to gear this out. A weakness of RHALDOR, if you're building around him, he's not the best early turn buffer in the game. He does have a defense piercing buff he can give himself with a punch attack buff, strike attack for the group. Not the best buff in the world, so you could look for a TMR on him. A TMR I want to shout out is he can wear this dress. This dress gives 20 missile resist and defense to your allies. So I'm going to run him with the dress. This is going to be RHALDOR in a dress. I'm going to throw that on him. Glassy over here also suffers from that same sort of syndrome. I'm going to give her an agility buff from Sweet Support. The Moonbow Battleware, this is again something she can do in early turns that will also help me overcome that agility gap that Fire has between these other units. Then for King Mont, I'm just going to set him up to be as tanky as possible. I think Fire Ring is a really good option, so this will give you more ice resist. This dude is going to be really, really hard for an ice unit to kill. You throw this fire resist ring on him, he is sitting at 80% ice resist. 80%. Good luck, ice units, killing King Mont. By the way, if you want him to, he has an elemental resist buff in his kit. You could crank that up even more on top of all the rest of the stuff you're giving him. It's pretty OP. Now, for our current Guild Wars map, I think Shikuchi's going to do you better than Shadowrunner, but this is also another way you could agility tune with him a little bit. For the rest of his gear, I don't think I need any more defense, really. I might be a little worried about magic. I could go for you could go defense bracer here. You could go knight armor. You could go brigandine. I will choose to go, what are the stats on this ring? It's like mixed defense and spirit, right? I get 6 of both. I'm mostly going to be fighting physical. I'm just going to throw a brigandine on him. Call that good. Let him wear that. And then for TMRs right here, I would go for agility tuning. Mont is somebody who loves to use bells. Let me sort this by agility. This dude's a huge fan of bells because if you want him to use this early on in a fight, it allows him to go limit break the enemy. Berserk, pretty OP. So there we go. Let's set that up. For RHALDOR, I think you're going to want to go the new fist. That is Snows right here, the Tiger's Fangs, +5. This will give you a little bit of AoE resist at the beginning of the fight. Like that a lot. Then, I don't think you need any more strike resistance on him. If you want it, or missile resist. If you wanted to, you could go for the cloak we just got. Where that thing's sitting at. Oh, you know, it's here somewhere. There it is, this guy right here. This will give you 10 more missile resist, which would put him all the way up to 100 with the buff he's casting, so that's fun. You could also go for something like a Thornlet, wherever that's sitting at. Here you go. This will give you more defense pin and agility down on a critical hit. You can see I need to finish that one, but here's the +5. 20 defense pin with agility down 3. I think that's really good. If I'm going for one-shots, that might be the way to go. Let's throw that on there. Let's go for the one-shots. Then you've already got your TMR. I obviously need to trust stone that thing out. For Glassy, I'm going to give her the best stick that I have, which is my +6 Platinum Rod. So that's going to be this one right here, or Platinum Mace, excuse me, +6 Plat Mace. Then for her, if I wanted some missile resist, I could get it here, but that's not great. Like, you know, defense pin isn't doing her a lot of favor, or dark attack resist. It's not exactly what I want. So what I'll do is go defense bracer. This will give me 25 more missile resist for the first 3 turns of a fight, setting her up for success, I think. and that's the build. I think this team could do a lot of work against the current ice meta. I've already seen what RHALDOR has the capability of doing against these current ice units, so that's something that I want to run. Let me go ahead, let me build up some resonance on them before I try any fights. Okay, here's the first fight. Now, I pulled Ashaman from the guild. He's running what would be like a standard Guild Wars ice wall kind of defense here. We have initial placement set to regular. I did a little bit of agility tuning, actually switched Mont's TMR to Jume's, and switched around a little vision cards to get my movement right. But watch this. Let's see how this plays out against a Velis Snow Eliza ice team. So Eliza buffing Velis, you know he's going to start dropping haste all over the map. He's going to Snow. Snow's going to put his courage on. We've seen this a bajillion times. Now, watch this movement. RHALDOR is going to run over here, and RHALDOR is going to cast the defense missile resist buff. Then Glassy's going to run over. She's going to agility buff the whole group. And Mont can do two things right here that are interesting. One, he's going to do what I'm going to have him do here. This is an elemental resist buff that he's casting. Note that he also didn't move to save a little bit of CT, but at this point, our elemental resist against ice is very, very high. On a map like this, we don't want our turns to run out before that becomes a problem, but because Mont didn't move, he will now be the first person to move for our group. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. I do like the buffs that RHALDOR and Glassy cast. Okay, there's Proclamation for Mont, give himself a little more agility, start going forward. RHALDOR could look to move in between them and rebuff Bulwark of the Bull. Love that. Keep that missile resist buff alive. Keep it going. Glassy right here is going to look to do Rally Magic. So there's her DPS buff. We've lined up, which on some maps could be a big problem. Not too worried about it early on this map because it's so big that I don't think they can get to us. There's triple guard from Snow. Eliza might be able to get into range right here. Yes, she can. And she's going to limit break. Now, this limit break, Mont is 100% ice resist right now. The limit break will lower his ice resist, but it still only did 757 damage. That's the carry of their group, dealing 757 damage. Here's another thing though. If Velis is allowed to do damage, we're not exactly built for missile resist. So what is this gonna do? 1960. Again, still really not that concerned with that. Now, Mont's turn to engage. He's gonna go up. He's gonna limit break right here. So because he was able to get 2 rounds of buffing in, he has enough AP to drop this. There's the double berserk, so that's nice. Glassy's up next. She's gonna go start teeing off on people. She is agility buffed. She's rally magic. She's going to limit break. So dreams are coming true right here. Let's see. Here it is. Big damage. Yeah, it's a double kill. That's really great. So this is mostly a physical group, but that was a double kill. RHALDOR, are you in range of Snow? RHALDOR's weakness is definitely his range, but Demolition Fist, that's 10,000 damage. We'll take that against their tank all day. That was a beatdown. Like, this is looking pretty good. Now, Eliza's in range of our whole group. She could start dropping some AoEs. Let's see how our non-tanks eat that. Yeah, really, they kind of shrugged that off. That was not a problem at all. In fact, Mont's going to go refresh his elemental resist buff just for funs, I guess. He's going to end up only buffing himself. This is definitely the awkwardness of this buff, but this is probably a one-shot. Yeah, that's 12,000 damage from Glassy, and I'm going to go with thumbs up. I don't think I need to test this again. I think this did really well against a Guild Wars defense squad that you might just see in like a top 10 Guild Wars right here. So, yeah, that's pretty great. That's going to be the video. Is fire a top tier element? No, it's absolutely not. However, with ice coming up in popularity so much, can a fire team be built to beat them? Absolutely. This team could 100% run into the next ice team on an ice wall defense or the next ice team in arena and just run them off the map, I think. That's going to do it. RHALDOR OP 2023? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Global exclusive fire support unit coming soon? Please? That would help a lot. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace.